Hey guys, Papa Pete back again today. I have another pickup video, and it's a real odd kind of day because first of all, at least for the time being, I've got charcoal in my basket. That doesn't happen very often. Usually Coco is in the basket, but she hasn't actually been around a little while, so usually she comes in and sees charcoal in there and gets a little ticked off, you know. So I don't know if he'll make it through the whole video or not, but for now he's there. And as you can see, I'm wearing my Team Canada jersey because I've got a very special pickup from a fantastic video game seller right here in Canada. I have the fourth box. This is the fourth pickup video that I've done over, last year or so from Respawn and Replay right out of Montreal, Quebec. So I got another fantastic box from Sebastian. I'm all decked out in my Canadian garb. Plus, they played Belgium. They lost 1-0, but they did really well in the World Cup opener today. Their opener is the first time they played a game in the World Cup since 1986. So 36 years since they've been in the World Cup. Only the second time they ever made it. But anyway, what a better way than to celebrate with a great box of Respawn and Replay. See you here, and we'll open it in just a minute.
Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
For all your Intellivision collecting needs, check out Intellivisioncollector.com, including their newest homebrew releases, Vanguard, The Show Must Go On, Penguin Land, and Poker Risque.
Ooh la la.
And now available, their two newest releases, Operation Cloudfire and Beachhead. That's Intellivisioncollector.com. All right, guys, before we get going, hey, first World Cup game in 36 years. Celebrate charcoal in the basket for at least another few seconds before he jumps out. We got a great pickup from a super video game seller here in Canada, Sebastian at Respawn and Replay in Montreal, Quebec. So we better have a special beer to go with it. And it's not from here in the Maritimes, but it is a smaller brewery I haven't heard of. But this is a 72 Canada celebrating the Summit Series for Team Canada versus the USSR, the very first time really that the top players from the Soviet Union went up against the professional players from North America. And quite a series it was. I don't think it's quite as famous in the States as it is here in Canada. But man, this is the granddaddy of them all. This is the big one when the Russians were first on a stage where they could compete with the top-notch players. And they gave the Canadians a lot more than they could handle, actually. Canada won the series, if you don't know, but it was really a story to be told. Anyhow, where is this one from? This is a 5% blonde beer. And it is out of Bilboquet Microbrasserie Incorporated in St. Hyacinthe, Quebec. So let's try this one out. Pop her open. I love blonde ales. So we'll see how this one is. I saw this in the store the other day. Even got my Team Canada glass here. Molson Canadian, but that's okay. Team Canada on it. We're really being patriotic today, aren't we? This is actually, I'm filming this the day before the U.S. Thanksgiving. Our Thanksgiving was last month. But of course, we do have Black Friday here in Canada because it's, it's a corporate thing. And where else do you celebrate? Celebrate the day after you celebrate giving thanks for all that you have by going out and beating the crap out of people to fight over a $10 toaster, right? And that's a good blonde beer. Nothing too special, frankly. I think the can's really neat. I love anything to do with the Summit Series. And charcoal's going to get right in the way. We're going to pour the rest of that in there. And if you get an opportunity to try that out or see anything to do with the 72 Summit Series, by all means, you should do so. Cheers. Okay, charcoal is settled back down, so let's get into this box right here. What a beauty it is. Sebastian always packs everything up so fantastically. I didn't plan on ordering anything from him recently, but this went on the other day, and it was just a good deal. Something hit me, and there's a few things that I needed, so I took advantage because, of course, Respawn and Replay have not only a great selection of games, but a fantastic number of things like box protectors and such for your games, which I love. Different ones. And the prices are astronomical if you buy any quantity whatsoever. Like the prices typically are about 30%, 40% less, I find, with the exchange and such. First of all, they're usually less than you pay in the States. Plus it's Canadian money, so that's another 30%, 35%, let's say less. And the shipping's very, very reasonable. It's great in Canada, and it's reasonable to the States. So you don't have to be just from Canada to buy from these guys, I'll tell you that. So look, it's all packed up perfectly. And oh, right on top. Excellent. So the first thing I got is I decided to buy, for box protectors, I bought a 10-pack of protectors for Atari cartridges. I've been picking up quite a few cartridge-only additions to my collection for like the Activision titles. Things like my Cosmic Commuter, Pitfall 2, etc., etc. Games that are worth quite a bit just as the cartridge. So I decided for the cost of them, I'd break down and buy a few of those. I only bought 10 to start, and I'll see how I like them, but it's going to be great protection for those cartridge-only games that I have. So really happy to have that. Next, I bought another 10, and just 10 this time, but Intellivision long box protectors, because you can never get too many of those. I have a lot of them for my French-Canadian games, for a lot of the homebrew games I get. All my 125s are in there. I had enough for those already, but I just needed a few more time and time again. I didn't buy a big bundle of 100, but I did get 10 more, because that should do me for the next little while with my homebrews and such. So really happy to have that. And again, top quality and great prices for things like that. Oh, what's this one? This is an interesting one because, of course, you saw my video not long ago. I hope, if you don't, go back and take a look at that special present that Luke from Intellivision Collector gave me with the 3 CD package. So I tried to find a box that would fit that as good as possible. So I just have some protection for it. So I just got a single for the Game Boy Color console box. So this is what this one's for. That's what I intend to use it for. It's going to be a little bit wide, but it's really going to fit in there quite nicely, I think. So we'll check that out later on. Maybe I'll put a picture in here right now of what it looks like when I have it in there. And last but not least for protectors, I know these are protectors, right, but it's still pretty neat. Last time I bought a bunch of Atari Lynx protectors for my Amico games, the 8-boxed Amico games that I got with the RFID cards in them. So they did fit in, but the Atari Lynx boxes were too big because I got it mixed up of which ones actually fit better. It's PS Vita boxes that fit them better. So I picked up some of these, and like I said, I have 2 in each of my Atari Lynx boxes, so I have all these Atari Lynx protectors now. So maybe I better buy myself some Atari Lynx complete in-box games to fill up those protectors, don't you think? Well, I just need an excuse to buy more games, right? Anyway, for now, there's some PS Vita boxes, so that's awesome. All right, on to the stuff I ordered. And of course, what I've ordered mostly from Sebastian is stuff for my Xbox. But I'm seeing a game right on top here that he sent me as a bonus. And he sent me some amazing things in the past. I don't know if this looks different than the one I have or not. It does. This is the French-Canadian version of a Magic's Ice Track. Absolutely beautiful. He sent me a message. Do you have this game? After I made my order. And I said, no. He said, I was going through some stuff and found this, and I thought you might like it. And there it is. It's the European or French-Canadian version with all the different languages on it. There are the... wow, it's got the black cartridge. Notice that cartridge looks different. Of course, it's a total silver cartridge. I'll put a picture of the original. See, Coco's here now trying to get up in the chair because she's ticked off because charcoal's in there. So there's the black cartridge, the Ice Track cartridge. And the overlays, I think, are pretty much the same, although they look a little bit different color. And, of course, the manual here is very thick, because I assume it's in several different languages, and it is. So that is such a great addition to my collection, Sebastian. I am so happy to have that. Thank you very, very much for throwing that in with my order. Beautiful. Ice Track International Edition. Amazing. All right, so on top of that, I got a few Xbox games. He didn't have very many that I still needed because there aren't very many there that I need. But when he has some in there, I always like to pick them up. So the first one I'm going to show you is I got a copy of Dave Mirra 2 Freestyle BMX, but it's the Platinum Hits version. I've got over half the Platinum Hits games now. I love that. Always say it. Respawn and Replay. Always make sure those discs stay nicely in the case during shipping. So there it is. Neat BMX type game, sort of like along the lines of Tony Hawk, Pro Skater, you know, that style of game, whether it's bicycles or what else to use? Snowboards and there's water skis and all kinds of different games like that now, all along the same line. But that's a really neat one. Dave Mirra 2. Really happy to have that. Next up, I got an actual one that I need for the entire collection, and that is State of Emergency. I've seen it around a couple times. I'm not really all that familiar right off with exactly what it is. There it is, though. Great shape, Rockstar Games. I'd say it's along that line of your typical Rockstar game. third person sort of battling, go head to head with up to 3 friends, or fight together against your oppressors. So it's battling it out in the street in a state of emergency. So really neat addition and fantastic condition, let me tell you that. Not that easy to find. So right on. Next up, I got another Platinum Hits, and I talked about Dave Mirra being what kind of game? Like a Tony Hawk game. So I got Tony Hawk Underground 2. These are really highly rated games, actually. The adventure style, but skateboarding games. And this one is just beautiful. It's just wonderful condition. So really happy to add that one. And as you can see from the number up above, the old Platinum Hits collection is really climbing. I've crested over halfway, I'm quite sure. Yeah, over halfway, I think. And man, so I'm going to start focusing a little bit more on these as I get closer and closer to that regular Xbox collection. Next up is a game that I have several different copies of, the exact same game, but I didn't have this, the most basic of all versions of this game. And that is the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Beautiful condition. Again, book is in fantastic shape. The map is in there. The cards are in there. Holy cow, it's all there. It is all there. And this is, like I say, the basic one. Not the Game of the Year edition. I had that one. But just the regular initial version that come out. So, you know, you see this around once in a while, but very rarely does it have all the pieces. Or does it come in this great a condition? And it was quite a bit more on eBay than trying to find it from Sebastian. So very, very happy and thankful to have gotten that one from Sebastian, let me tell you. And I have one more game. And it's kind of a neat one. A game I've seen and I've turned down because it was faded or it just didn't look right or whatever. And what I got is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Battle Nexus. So what a great, and I'm looking at this like for the first time except for what was on the site, and this is frigging pristine. Open her up, there's your manual, there's that. I'm sure this is just like the typical Turtles game, arcadey, third person fighting game, right? So man, I think that is the last Turtles game that I need. I've been looking for this for, well, basically 2 or 3 years now because I've got all the other ones. There's 2, 3, 4 other ones. But this was the last one I needed. And man, am I ever happy to get it. And it's not that cheap of a game. It's climbing and climbing little by little. It's not super expensive, but it has been climbing quite a bit over the last little while. So anyway, thank you again. Very happy to have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Battle Nexus. Alright, so that's it. Once again, guys, so happy to get this fantastic pickups from Respawn and Replay. The quality is always amazing. Great deals on protectors, plus you can get the different protectors for different things that you need. And if you have something that you're not sure of, message Sebastian. Maybe he'll have a recommendation for something that's very close, or maybe he'll be able to have it made. I don't know, but there are always options, and it's a great person to contact for all your box protector needs. And fantastic additions to the Xbox collection. And how do you beat international version of Ice Track? Oh my god, any of these are magic games. And this right here, I love this game. Streamed it just a couple weeks ago. And got through the whole thing, beat it, you know. You just started over when you beat it, but not too long ago, I couldn't get through this game. It's a really fun game. Pretty difficult, though, let me tell you that. But anyway, thank you once again, Sebastian. And thank you guys all for watching my channel, for joining in with me as I go on this quest to get all these Xbox games or the Intellivision games. And yes, Coco, I'll pick you up, Coco, just for the end of the video. Oh, here she comes. Because Charcoal's got your basket. Isn't that something? Anyway, guys, once again, thanks for spending a little bit of time with Charcoal and Coco and I today. And we'll see you in the next pickup video. Take care.
Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown up by the age.
What's happening, YouTube? Back in the day, gamer here, and you're watching Papa Pete, the old guy gamer. Crap! It's Nudie Magazine Day.
What the hell?